All right, we will continue on with our regular council meeting for tonight. It's still Monday, May 5th. Time is 7:22 PM. The meeting is called to order. I'd ask all of our newly elected officials to come forward to take their oath. We'll do the first three for spacing, and then you can take pictures. Planning Commission Chair Bill Hall will swear in myself, Mayor Latham, and I will provide the oath to the other members. So the first crew is Mayor Todd Latham, City Clerk Denise E., and Treasurer Sandra Kohler, and then we'll have the council members after that. Good. Thank you for coming.
Okay. I would like to hear you say, I, Todd Latham,
I, Todd Latham,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor
of the City of Sandwich, Illinois, to the best of my ability.
in the city of Sandwich, Illinois, to the best of my ability.
Very good. Welcome.
Thank you. Do you want to pick work on now?
Sure.
What's that?
I can't remember the words that much.
Let's do the other ones as we do now.
You can go take photos. Yeah, one's
I don't look crazy.
You're fine.
All right, repeat after me, your oath of office. I, Denise E.,
I, Denise E.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of
and the Constitution of
the State of Illinois,
the State of Illinois,
that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the
the
office
duties of the office
of City Clerk
of City Clerk
of the City of Sandwich,
of the City of Sandwich,
Illinois,
Illinois,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and you can sign yours.
That was phrased well.
Yes.
Bill made it hard on the mayor. He gave him like 3 breaths.
And then when we're done, if anyone wants to take pictures with first, or you can take pictures as family or with family, and then we'll move on to our council meeting. Good. Okay. Please raise your right hand. Repeat your oath of office. I, Sandra Kohler,
I, Sandra Fuller,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of treasurer
to the office of treasurer
in the city of Sandwich
in the City of Sandwich,
in the counties of
in the counties of
DeKalb and Kendall,
DeKalb and Kendall,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
I will support
the Constitution of
the Constitution of
the United States
the United States
and the Constitution of
and the Constitution of
the State of Illinois,
the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of treasurer
of treasurer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right, I have to sign this right here. Okay, anyone wanting pictures with any family members, you can come on up. Or not.
Chicken.
Sam, did you bring any family with pictures?
That whole group over there better
Bring
get
the
up
whole
here.
group up.
Do what your mom says.
Gotta wait 4 years and you miss this.
Right?
We should give.
Yeah, they act like this at home too. Thank you.
You couldn't have like nudged me?
You can take your seat.
Congrats.
Sandra.
Well, I didn't know how to do it.
All right, can I have Matthew Chun, Janelle Inman, Jay Ketchum, and Don Danko come forward? You can line up in that order. Matthew, right here. Should I Matt, those are- Okay, Janelle? Jay? Don? I do my word. Is it ready? I'll do small pieces.
I see my.
All right, so you're first. I'll do one at the time. Please raise your right hand. I, Matthew Chun,
I, Matthew Chun,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of
the Constitution of
the United States
the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Illinois,
of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Alderman,
of Alderman,
Ward 1
Ward 1
of the City of Sandwich,
of the City of Sandwich,
Illinois,
Illinois,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Get the run off. You guys have some paperwork when we're done. Great, Janelle. Get him here. I, Janelle Inman,
I, Janelle Inman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support
I will support
the Constitution of
the Constitution of
the United States
the United States
and the Constitution of
and the Constitution of
the State of Illinois,
the State of Illinois,
that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
the office of Alderwoman,
the office of Alderwoman,
Ward 2,
Ward 2,
City of Sandwich,
of the City of Sandwich,
Illinois,
Illinois,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Here's your paperwork. Sign right here. Jay, your family here?
No, I am.
Okay, then I'll stand with you. All right, if you're ready. I, Jay Ketchum,
Ketchum,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States,
and the Constitution of
the Constitution of
the State of Illinois,
the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
Office of Alderman,
Office of Alderman,
Ward 2,
Ward 2,
Ward 3, thank you. Ward 3,
Ward 3,
of the City of Sandwich,
City of Sandwich,
Illinois,
Illinois,
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
I'm glad you know what ward you're on.
Yes.
Sign right there. I'll get for not looking down. All right, Don, you have family here?
Yeah, it's right there.
Stand over here. Please, repeat your oath of office. I, Don Danko,
I, Don Danko,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support
I will support
the Constitution of
the Constitution of
the United States
the United States,
and the Constitution of
the Constitution of
the State of Illinois,
the State of Illinois.
that I will faithfully discharge
I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
the office of Alderman Ward 4 of
the office of Alderman Ward 4,
the City of Sandwich,
City of Sandwich,
Illinois,
Illinois,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. You got some paperwork too? Just sign right there. Okay, I'd ask the outgoing council members to maintain your seats and please come forward so we can recognize your service. And aldermen that just got sworn in and oath, please take your seats that they vacate.
Thank you, sir.
You want to come up? Yep.
For in a court of law, ma'am, I would tell you to remove yourself.
I'm down first. I'll tell you congrats.
All right, so as a token of our appreciation of your service to our city council, plaque recognizes. So it's been a little rant, first word, Alderman, we thank you for your 5 years of dedicated service to the city of Sandwich and its citizens. Congratulations, thank you for your service. Johnson, Ward 2 Alderman. Thank you for your 4 years of service dedicated to the city of Sandwich and its citizens. Thank you for your service and congratulations. Here's your flag. And your flag. Alderman Bill Frisch, 3rd Ward Alderman. Thank you for your 4 years of dedicated service to the city of Sandwich and its citizens. Congratulations. Thank you. Rick Whitecotton, 4th Ward Alderman. Thank you for your 5 years of dedicated service to the city of Sandwich and its citizens. Thank you. Anybody else need pictures? Yep. Council members want to come back? I guess maybe I like your picture. It's better to have a good picture than a bad picture. And then, tell me, Alderman, did we get your pictures yet? We'll take a break when they're done. We're going to come back up. They're good. No? All right. It's their achievement. Not that I wouldn't. Okay, Anthony, we'll come back up. We'll get your family, get your pictures. Yeah, anybody else forget their nameplate?
I'm good.
Sounds good.
We're good.
Yes, yeah.
That's okay.
Don't let down.
That's okay.
We want one of you together, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
That'll be the WS flag.
Push the button.
Just stay up right there. You don't want one of all of them. Jay, you said no picture?
No.
Okay, Don, you want to do a picture of the family?
No, I'm good.
Okay, then I need all the new council members to come here for the newspaper. Okay. And then do you want the other officials as well, treasurer? Sure. How big is your news? Sandra, gonna be the picture? I think we are in them. We are in them. Get out. Make sure when you speak to, you push your butt down so it's green, new council members.
Well, maybe just make those little announcements.
All right, well, Clerk E, please call the roll.
Alderman Arnett.
Here.
Alderwoman Erickson is absent. Alderman Chund.
Here.
Alderwoman Inman.
Here.
Alderman Kreinbrink.
Present.
Alderman Dankel.
Here.
Alderman Robinson.
Here.
And Alderman Ketchum.
Here.
Okay.
Okay, are there any members of the audience that wish to make a public comment? The consent agenda as item 4, motion to adopt the consent agenda as a whole. All matters are considered routine by the city council and acted by one motion. If discussion is desired, that item can be requested and removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. There is follows: item A, approval of the minutes of the committee whole meeting, April 7, 2025. B, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of April 7, 2025. And item C, approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of April 21st, 2025. Is there any desire to move those items off? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll motion.
Alderman Arnett, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Robinson, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And the motion passes. Mayoral appointments.
Sir?
All right, as you know, it's a requirement that every year I come before council and make mayoral appointments. Those are our department heads and our leadership team. Those are our members of our finance committee, our budget committee, our council liaisons, our police commission, our agency appointments, which is the city attorney, Foster, Buick, Conklin, Lundgren, and Gottschalk is the firm, our city auditors, which is SICH LLC, our city financial consultant, which is Lauterbach and Amman, our engineering services, which is Engineering Enterprise, Inc., and Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick. It also includes our planning commission members, our zoning board of appeals members, our police pension, historical preservation commission, our technology committee, our citizens advisory, and our city chaplain. So I place before you the following appointments for the year 2025, 2026 for approval. Is there a motion to approve the appointments?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Okay, Alderman Kreinbrink, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Robinson, any discussion? Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Robinson,
Aye.
Alderman Ketchum,
Aye.
Alderman Arnett.
Yep.
Let's see, Erickson's out. Alderman Chun,
Aye.
Alderman Inman,
Aye.
Alderman Kreinbrink,
Aye.
Alderman Danko.
Aye.
All right, the motion passes. I do want to point one thing. I did move Alderman Arnett from streets to our wastewater treatment plant. That is because it's going to come online. And I'd like somebody out there in case we have some engineering issues or we have some concerns about the plant operating correctly. So I did want to point out why I made that change. So I do need his expertise out there as that plant's ready to be operational. All right, attorney report, Attorney Gottschalk.
Again, most of it will be later on. There was a question about the Nelnet agreement. I just need to catch up with Denise after the meeting and get the W-9 filled out and get a copy of the resolution. So that check should be coming this week. And the signed agreement. I did not have possession of that. And then I will address the Fairwinds thing when we get there. And then just a little information. I know that the engineer kind of has city staff hours. I had briefly mentioned to the mayor, and I'm going to work with the clerk and administrator to maybe set one day a week or every other week where I can come down, meet with them, and help them on questions that they have rather than us trying to play phone tag a lot. So I think that that had worked pretty well in the past, and so I'm going to try to re-implement that now that I'm kind of clearing some of my schedule. And then just for everyone else to know that Attorney Foster we have a lot going on here in Sandwich, and so he is available if I'm ever not available to assist, and I'm getting him up to speed on everything that we've got going on. And so you'll have more than one person to get a hold of if you're ever in need. And then along those same lines, he will probably be here on June 2nd, as I will be out of the state for a family wedding. So you'll probably see him then.
Okay, questions for our attorney? All right, I'll move on to city clerk report. Clerk E.
Okay, just briefly, I want to welcome all you new ones on board, and the mic is your friend. Do not be afraid to speak into it. Thank you.
Okay, Treasurer Sandra Kohler, if you could pull the microphone if you have any comments. It's the one in front of Tony.
Well, I didn't know if it was proper or not to make a speech, but I do want to thank everybody that voted for me. And everything that I ran on, I plan on doing. So I appreciate the opportunity to be in this position and to see the city going together better. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the treasurer? All right, City Administrator Penman?
Just one point I wanted to make. Well, first, welcome, everyone. And then wanted to, unfortunately, we do have a change order that will be coming to the next meeting from our wastewater treatment plant as part of that project. We had an issue with one of the digesters where it broke. So we're going to have to bring some of that back and have you guys look at it. But we have authorized the repair, but we're going to have to do it as a change order because that's pretty much what's holding that project up. So just wanted to make everybody aware of that moving forward. We'll have some more information at our next meeting for it. And I expect to have Steve from DEEI here as well.
Okay, questions for Jeff? All right, city reports, Tony Eberly.
Just want to say thank you for all the outgoing and welcome to the incoming. Look forward to working with you. That's all that I have.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Any questions for our EMA director? All right, Chief of Police, Chief Kevin Senni.
Just want to welcome everybody that's new. Look forward to working with you guys too. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief Senni? All right, engineering, Kurt Bettman.
I just want to say welcome to all new aldermen. Again, looking, just like Tony Eberly, looking forward to working with you guys on various projects throughout the city. And then wanted to make sure that Don Oleski could come up and say a few words as part of the Economic Development Director. Don?
Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Mayor has me come in around once in a while to update everybody on progress on different projects we've been going in, and we'll keep this really short. First of all, I want to thank Tony. Tony's been working with myself and the billing official to upgrade our pages on our website to make them more informative, you know, to have all the information there on the website. Jeff, if we could bring
I'm trying.
Tony's up. Tony just presented this to me over the weekend. It's wonderful, the work he's put in, and makes it a lot simple. And I think someone just looking at the website makes it a lot simpler for them. So what we talked about was put the current projects on the website so people are aware. And we'll just get started really with Dollar General. Dollar General is all permitted, ready to go. We're just waiting to hear from them when they're going to start. That's an exciting project. For those who don't know where it's going to be next to A&B Roofing out on Route 34 there. So the next one is the solar farm. Is probably get permits will be finished in the next day or two, ready to go. They're going to be north of 34 on the west side of Sandy Bluff Road. That is a $7 million investment from the company. I've been working with the assessor's office in Kendall County because they get taxed differently now once they're up and running. The state mandates that for every megawatt, they're assessed at $218,000, and they are at 3.5 megawatts for this project, which brings their first tax bill from about $6,000 to $36,000. And that'll continue to increase, so revenue for the city. We're going through a big learning curve with the solar farm. There's a lot of other things that I think will benefit the city. We're working on with the state, and I think it'll be very good. Northwestern Hospital has 4 projects schedule for this year, total of $1.9 million. They just submitted the third project a week and a half ago, and they're ready to go. In hospital projects, they all have to get approved by the Department of Health first before we can say go ahead and move forward. Fairwinds Phase 4, that development, you're gonna approve the final plat so that the simple fact of the matter is these plats have to go to the county so the county can create addresses so the builder knows where to ship things. It's a very simple thing. The first part of just the first part, getting the ground set up into lots, is about a $1.9 million investment. So it's a big boon for the city. It'll be 58 new houses. And whether we want more houses or not, rooftops attract retail. And it helps me when I can say, hey, there's 58 more lots coming in when I talk to a commercial broker. They appreciate that. I want to talk to you about ComEd. ComEd's got a program where they help out municipal facilities. So we had the City Hall, the police department, and the wastewater treatment plant. We had the lights checked. And we qualified. They were just completing $35,000 in work at no cost to the city. ComEd picked up the bill because of the savings in the kilowatts from where we were to where we're going. Tomorrow is the next phase of that, and I don't think I've had a chance to talk to Jeff and the mayor, but tomorrow morning we meet back out at the wastewater treatment plant, and I'm gonna read this because I asked Brad to write it out for me. We are going to analyze the variable frequency drives on the pumps. There's 4 pumps, and each one needs this drive. This drive, I think they're about $25,000 a piece if we put them on, and it allows for more energy efficiency with the pumps. Think of it as a dimmer switch. They start slow, ease into it. It's easier on the pumps. It lasts longer, and the pumps get to last longer. And then in the times where they don't need to pump as much, it will take it back down. Right now, they're just running all the time. So they're going to do their assessment. The company comes out that ComEd assigned to us is coming out tomorrow morning. And we're going to look at that. They'll give us a report, and we should know from ComEd about 7 to 10 days how much money we qualify for or how much funding we can get. Hopefully 100 again. And then the second thing is they're going to, after that, they come here, and we're going to look at those 2 furnaces upstairs. They qualify, so they're going to come out and do an assessment on those 2 furnaces. I think they were in the $25,000 a piece to replace them range. We have that money, that work covered in an appropriation that'll be released in about 90 to 120 days. However, if ComEd stops up and gives us a significant piece, then we'll hold off to do it with the appropriation funding, and then we'll just take the funds that were saved in the appropriation and move them to another project. So that's been good. And then Phase Barbecue. We have a meeting Wednesday morning with him and the architect to get him started. I think we're close, ready to go with him. He wants to open the 16th, Friday, May 16th, 23rd, and 30th. Those are all Fridays. And to get started on a kind of a soft opening thing, get geared up. Well, they're going to do the work in the building, and then after that, he'll post a schedule. Anything else, Mayor, that I didn't cover that you're thinking about?
I think that's it.
Those are the ones that we have sealed down. There's several. I have another column here, but you guys have a lot of things to do tonight. And so what I do is when we get these projects, what I do for Jeff and the mayor, I forecast the revenue. You know, sales tax, retail sales tax, real estate, utility usage, things like that. And we say, if we do this, this is the long term. And that's why it is so important to us turn these projects around as fast as we can. Because the developer has money out, he's paying interest on, but we're also, if we don't do it quick, we're extending our time to get our revenue, and I want our revenue in as fast as possible. So all of these have, I think, a really good turnaround. The one property we own at 122 West Church, hopefully we'll get the sign on it this week. I've approached 4 developers and 3 commercial brokers to let them know that that property's out there. It's B3, it'll be a commercial enterprise. So, any questions? Okay, thank you.
Can I ask questions?
Sure.
Can you?
Yeah.
Typically, our treasurer is not, but you certainly can.
Well, I missed when you said how many drives that it takes at the water treatment plant that we're looking at?
There's four. There's 4 pumps and there's 1 drive for each pump.
Okay, that was it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Don. All right, we're council reports. Alderman Arnett?
Nothing.
Okay. Alderman Chun?
Nothing.
Alderman Danko?
Nothing at this time.
Alderwoman Inman?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Ketchum?
Nothing.
Alderman Cranbrink?
I have nothing further this evening, sir.
Alderman Robinson?
Nothing tonight.
Clean sweep. All right, old business. So as you recall, we had item A, that's discussion of possible action to adopt resolution 25-10. This would allow for the purchase of out-of-state Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund service credit. That motion was tabled at the last council meeting. So to take this item back up, there would need to be a motion to take it off the table, second, and vote on it, and then we can have some discussion and decide if we want to approve it.
I wasn't here for that meeting, so I can't take it off the table.
I know, I was trying to think who
discussion, right?
tabled it, I'd have to look at the.
I was trying to remember that too.
I was trying to figure out who took it off the table. It may be a council member is no longer here. I didn't know, I was trying to see who would want to start the discussion, so. So is there a desire to take that item off the table for consideration and vote?
Has there been any other information brought forth on it? I mean, that's the
I guess
thing.
I can
We
just
have-
say,
We have to bring it off the table to discuss it, right?
unfortunately, I mean,
You can get the
We-
attorney's opinion.
I was gonna
before
say,
you
I can give you what I know. Unfortunately, IMRF doesn't have a table or a calculator like they did when we did this previously for us to calculate it. And at least not that I was able to find out. I don't know if Denise, I think Denise is our contact with IMRF. I don't know if anyone asked her or if she was able to get in contact with IMRF. But it appears that there isn't a clean or easy way to calculate it. Jeff, if I'm wrong, please step in. But it is 2.3 years, I think.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's 2.3 years. I know that when we purchased it out for the previous situation, it was about 24 months. So unfortunately, it does not appear that there's a way to calculate it, but my best guess, based on the other research I've done for what we did before and reviewing the Wisconsin retirement system and IMRF system, is that it will likely be a same situation where you pay it back under the percentage, in the future. Obviously, there would be a payment required by whoever needs to do that. But this is also similar to the military one where if we allow it, and anyone that was employed at that time would be eligible to do this. And I will say that passing the resolution doesn't automatically make the next step happen. It makes it that he can apply for it, if that makes sense.
So he's asking for the purchase of that for us to take credit toward his service credit with IMRF. So again, we did that before with the military credit for Mr. Steppens, our former building official. Our administrator is asking for similar type of approval.
My one question is, as an employer, have we reached out to IMRF to try to get those calcs? Because they should be able to mathematically figure them out without going online.
I don't know that we have them. I don't know that they prepare
So
those.
I'd like to have
file.
staff contact IMRF and see what it would cost the city before we can move any
I
further.
believe that,
The only
I know-
person allowed to would be the clerk as the administrative agent, so she'd have to call and inquire on the city's behalf.
There you go. Let's make that happen then.
Okay.
I do just know that the contact that Jeff has basically said that they make it seem like it's not possible to do the calculation for some reason. So
But
I've read the
obviously, they'll be able to make a
correspondence.
calculation at some point. So if we say yes, they'd be able to do it. So they should be able to do it on the front end,
I
so.
don't disagree.
Do you know, Jeff, is it when you apply for retirement? Is that when that
Yes,
calculation occurs?
that's part of the issue, is that you have to be a certain age before you have to forego your benefits in the out-of-state program in order for them to do the paperwork, to do the calculation. That's the problem, is that I would have to forfeit whatever is there. And then if you decide not to do it, then I've forfeited my 2.3 years out of state. So that's really what the problem is that, and it seems like a technicality to me, but it's between the two systems, and it's not something that they're not offering any information. So, I mean, we can ask Denise to call and see if they want to tell her something different, but what I've been told at least twice is that that's not something that they're willing to calculate at this point in time.
Okay, other direction from council? Okay, so I understand we're asking, council is directing the clerk to call our administrative agent to see what information we can find on the cost of Mr. Penman buying his 2.3 years of out-of-state service credit. Okay. Next item is old business 12B. This is discussion and possible approval of the Planning Commission recommendation to approve the plat for Fairwinds Phase 4 development. This is, do you want to talk about the reason?
If
Jeff, do you have the document to pull up, or were those?
Ian was going to go ahead and bring them, I thought.
Yeah,
but
so
I-
they are all in front of
They're in front of
everyone.
everyone?
Yeah, we all have copies.
Yeah, okay, so we're working off the copies. This is something that the county requires us to approve as the final plat subdivision. And once council approves it, then we can go forward and place it on file with the county. This is basically the document that you'd be approving, but essentially it's the Phase 4 development.
It has not changed from what was approved many years ago.
Either by the city or the planning commission. This is just a formality that places it on file as a approved document. It does require council action, and then it requires the signatures that must accompany it as the final plating.
And just for a little bit more background, Fairwinds, when it was originally annexed and planned to be developed, it was in the 4 phases. The annexation agreement was amended multiple times. As part of the 3rd annexation agreement, the Phase 4 of the plat was vacated, and there is no way to undo a vacatur of a plat. So we had to do a new plat, but it is the same. It has been approved by our engineer, and it's all the same. It just is going to have the current people's signatures on it, and so the Plan Commission did vote unanimously to recommend to the council to also approve this.
Yeah, so essentially, your vote will be to accept this or to reject it, so. All right, any other discussion on Phase 4? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve Fairwinds of Sandwich Planned Unit Development Phase 4 as approved and presented.
I'll make motion.
Okay, motion
I'll
by
second.
Alderman Robinson, second by Alderman Arnett. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Okay, Alderman Kreinbrink,
Aye.
Alderman Robinson,
Aye.
Alderman Danko,
Aye.
Alderman Ketchum,
Aye.
Alderman Arnett,
Aye.
Alderman Chun,
Aye.
and Alderman Inman.
Aye.
All right, motion passes, it is approved. We do have a need to go into executive session. I'd ask council to amend the agenda to move 14 executive session above new business for the discussion. And that executive, so the first motion would be to amend the agenda to move 14 before 13. So we can have a closed session to have discussion before any action may take place. Is there such a motion?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Okay, motion by Alderman Kreinbrink. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Arnett. Any discussion on the reasons? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. No, you've adjusted the agenda. There's a need to go into closed session or executive session for personnel under 5 ILCS 122C1. And
Oh, sorry.
in discussion of the purchase release of real property under 5 ILCS 122C5 and litigation under 5 ILCS 122C11. Is there a motion to approve in the closed session for those 3 reasons?
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Arnett. Is there a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Alderman Kreinbrink, will the clerk please call the roll?
Okay, just give me a second. Alderman Robinson?
Aye.
Alderman Ketchum?
Aye.
Alderman Arnett?
Aye.
Alderman Chun?
Aye.
Alderwoman Inman?
Aye.
Alderman Kreinbrink?
Aye.
Alderman Dankel?
Aye.
Okay, will the alderman please meet in the closed session room in the back?